Hello and welcome to the Back Nine Report. We are counting down the top stories of 2021 in the world of golf. And right now we're up to number 9. Today we have number 9 and I have Fred Altvater and Kieran Clark with me again. We keep counting them down. And right now we're going to number 9. And number 9 is the rivalry between Nelly Korda, Yin Young Ko. I mean, what they did this year was amazing as well. As number 1, number 2, 5 wins for Yin Young Ko, 4 wins for Nelly Korda. It went down to the wire to the last round there in the race to the CME Globe, the Tour Championship. It was amazing, and Yin Young Ko went out on top, remains number 1. So Kieran Clark, I'm going to bring you up first. How about Yin Young Ko and Nelly Korda, who, by the way, won the Olympic gold this year as well? So is this good for golf? I mean, what about this story between Nelly Korda and Yin Young Ko?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's great for golf for 2 reasons. One, because you have a rivalry, and that's always a great thing in golf, but also because of just the standard of play that these two women have displayed, throughout their careers so far, but especially this past season. It was remarkable. And you touched on, the 5 wins for Jin Young Ko, the 4 wins for Nelly Korda, but of course that doesn't include an Olympic gold medal. And of course, among her 4 wins in the LPGA was, of course, the Women's PGA Championship Major. So, and they're virtually identical in terms of their stats. I mean, look at their scoring average. I think they're both on 68, 0.7 or 0.8 roughly. They're virtually neck and neck, even there. Jin Young Ko obviously was $1 million ahead in the prize money over the season because of that big win at the end of the year. But two just staggeringly good players, and statistically, the golf has been incredible from both. And we go back to the stat from Jin Young Ko just at the end of the season there to hit 63 consecutive greens in regulation. It's one of the most unfathomable things I've ever heard in golf. I mean, I just can't imagine playing to that consistently. 63 greens in 10 years, I'll take that. To do it in consecutive holes of golf, I mean, think of the variables in this game, and to do that is just, I don't care what golf course you're playing, whether it's a pitch and putt course, that's still an amazing achievement. It's extraordinary. And it just shows how the elite level these two are playing at. And we've seen some great stories this year on the LPGA Tour, and there's a great standard of women's golf right now. It's going through, I think, the beginning of a golden period. So some great championships this year. We're obviously got the new Chevron event coming up in a couple of years' time. The Women's Open Championship in the UK has become a fantastic championship in the last couple of years. Really been great investment in there from the R&A, and it's elevated that as well. So there's a lot of great stuff happening in women's golf right now, but it's spearheaded by these two, who are just fabulous players to watch. Jin Young Ko has just got this metronomic way of playing across the game, just so consistent, and Nelly Korda has that just immense talent, and it's great to watch. And I say, obviously next year they won't have it all their own way because there are some great players right behind them. But I mean, I think if these two can maintain the standard of play that they've shown in 2021, then I expect either of them, potentially even both of them, to win majors next year. That's the one thing that was missing from Jin Young Ko's, obviously her record this past season. But I think she's certainly geared up for major success next season because the standard has just been incredible. And I think there's been some great stories in the LPGA this year. We're set up for a great season next year coming up. But I think these two right now, Carlos, looking at the headlines here, I think these two will be the biggest story going into next year. Who will finish up the year number 1? But it's more so, what can they achieve individually along the way? Will they match last year? Will they better even? And I wouldn't bet against the two of them actually doing better next year, what they did this year, because the quality has been superb and it's been sustained as well. It hasn't just been a little burst at the beginning of the year and then they quieten down. They've won throughout the season, and that sustained level of play is rare. This shows how special these two are. So I think the game's always elevated when you have two great players at the top. And right now, the LPGA Tour has 2 tremendous players at the top. And I look forward to seeing what they can do next season, because it was a joy to watch this past year. And I'm sure they'll deliver even more in 2022.
It surely will. And Fred, it's incredible that this two, we're talking about two players and how they stood up head and shoulders above an amazing talent. Like, let's say Lydia Ko's resurgence. We have Lexi Thompson. We have so many Inbay Parks still there. Aria Utanagar had a resurgence as well. Went back to the top 10. We have Daniel Kang, Sejong Kim. I mean, I can keep mentioning names, Brooke Henderson, and still it was up to these two, really 5 wins, 4 wins, 13 top 10s, 11 top 10s. Amazing year for them too. And next year, definitely, like Kieran says, they're already get a head start because it's like everybody's trying to catch them. And can they retain that amazing momentum that they have? I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I mean, it's just like the PGA Tour went through. One thing you had, you had Arnie and Jack, and people wanted to see them head to head, right? They drove each other to be better. You had Jack and Tom Watson. You had Jack and Tom Weiskopf. You had, on and on and on. These guys pushing each other. Tiger and Phil to some extent pushing each other. So that's exactly what the LPGA Tour needed. And guys, I'm going to take just a little bit a different tack because you guys have well documented what Jin Young Ko and Nelly Korda did this year. Truly phenomenal. But this was one of the best years the LPGA Tour has ever seen in 2021. Even though Michael Wan departed for the USGA, this is what he put together. This is what he envisioned. He created the platform for these young women to perform at that level and get the accolades that they're getting. What does it mean? Well, Jin Young Ko is the best female golfer in the world right now, but Nelly Korda is not too far behind. Even battling her sore wrist at the CME Globe Championship, she had hit 63 consecutive greens. That's unbelievable, as Carlos said. So any great sport needs 2 great antagonists. We've been waiting for a top American to do battle week in and week out versus another top player. In this case, we got Nelly versus Jin Young Ko. Excuse me. They're both very likable. They're both great players. They're both very classy. The LPGA couldn't have asked for anything better to have these 2 quality players battling every week. But wait, just like the guy on TV, there's more, okay? 2022, we're going to have 85.7 million in total prize money in 34 events, with several events boasting purses in excess of $5 million. Very, very exciting stuff, guys. So I can't wait for 2022. 2021 was fantastic. Jin Young Ko, Nelly Korda. I hope they continue in 2022. Loved watching it. Every week we're watching. Where's Nelly? Where's Jin Young? Where, are they near the top of the leader? Are they going to be back there on Sunday? So I can't wait to see it again next year.
Can't wait to see what is going to happen. Definitely with that talent behind them. I'm sure they're not going to just settle down and say, hey, you're number 1 and 2, and we're not going to challenge you. That's the beauty of the LPGA. Week in and week out, one of the best products out there in golf. So there you have it. That was number 9, Jin Young Ko and Nelly Korda topping the world's the top 2 in the female world of golf. So thank you for joining us. And now we're up to number 8. So watch out. Be there tomorrow. It'll be here for you. Thank you for joining us.